Hello, St. Mary's. And yes, this is the Can-ley Cup right over my shoulder. This is day 2 of our victory tour. I took it up to where I play hockey last night. It's here in the office today. Looking forward to taking it to a bunch of other places as we do our victory lap. But I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who made Can-ley a success. And that begins 100% with Sabrina Hodge and Vicky Mayo, our mighty outreach team, who the most impressive thing for me was they took a vision and saw it through to the end. And there was a gospel lesson in that, and it was a joy to watch the planning and the execution happen. I'm so grateful I got to see that up close. I also want to say thank you to our volunteers, and I know there were a lot of you who were buying, shipping, running, all these sorts of things, just keeping the wheels moving. And there's such a great lesson in that as well. Wanted to say thanks to the Shepherd staff and Brenda Meadows, who has been our friend for so very, very long and who continues to do a wonderful job, not just in executing a program, but as you heard yesterday, in showing compassion always. And I'm always so impressed by the work they do. And to be able to partner with them again was just a wonderful joy. And then finally, I want to say thank you to our friends at Hope Rising Resource Center, and in particular, Shannon Reinhardt, their director, who is simply one of the best human beings I know, whose heart is so very, very big for those who are struggling, and who invited us into her loop and into her work to allow us to participate in this and to learn a little bit about ourselves and potentially to crack open some new projects around here. And I did want to say that while, of course, it's not about winning, because the winners are the people whose need exceeds our own and who will be helped by all this, I did kind of want to say that I appreciate a congregation who said, hey, if there's a competition, we might as well try and win this thing. I appreciate that kind of attitude and commitment, and it really was a joy week by week to watch you all do incredible work. And all of this comes not only at the end of this, but it comes at a great time of celebration for us. Look back a couple weeks. Of course, we talk about Easter and the season of Easter. But we had confirmation a week ago, Can-ley this past Sunday. The garden is in full bloom, and you all did a wonderful job of taking plants. Thank you for those contributions. In just a couple of weeks, we're going to celebrate our graduates, and it's been a wonderful time of celebration for so many of you. And I wanted to say that all of this celebration, all of these wonderful things, are just as essential to our faith as the work we do. Because faith doesn't begin in the work we do. Faith begins in the work that God is doing and has already done. Faith begins by celebrating what God has done. In other words, faith starts in celebration. And the more we celebrate, the more we give thanks, the more we say thank you, the more empowered our congregation becomes for work in the world. Look around at the organizations doing wonderful, wonderful work in the world. And one of the things I have noticed, the organizations I admire the most, the ones that are healthiest, and the one whose vision is bigger than what they can do, and they seem to pull it off every single time, is that they are an organization filled with joy. And this goes right back to our scriptures. Perhaps you remember the story of Nehemiah. Nehemiah had a vision to rebuild the city of Jerusalem after it was destroyed. And he goes about this plan, and it's a wonderful book of the Bible. I really encourage you to read it. But Nehemiah was absolutely serious when he proclaimed to all the people, he said, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Let me say that one more time. The joy of the Lord is your strength. And what he's saying to them, those ancient people, what he says to us today, is cultivate joy, celebrate, be aware of a sense of God's good work in you and in the places around you. And in that, not in yourselves, but in that celebration, you will find joy. And so to that end, I wanted to tip you off early that there is yet another surprise coming this Sunday at St. Mary's. I'm not going to say a lot about it now, but I do want to say that it is something that we've been working on for well over a year. It's something we pray will bless this congregation and continue to breathe God's spirit and joy and a sense of possibility and calling into our congregation. And if I can get my head wrapped around it, it's also going to come with sort of a mini sermon series. Got a couple of things that I'd like to talk about that I think will be of interest to you, particularly those of you who have been here a long time. those of you who have called St. Mary's home for a while. Looking forward to uniting our surprise on Sunday with a message about what God might yet have for us. And so there is more great stuff yet to come. We invite you to be a part of it, and we invite you to invite others to be a part of it. You never know who needs to hear a message of celebration and whose heart needs to be lifted, because the joy of the Lord can be their strength as well. So we'll see you all Sunday, but we pray you have a great week in the meantime. Until we're able to be together again, peace and good, y'all.